this video, we will be removing the motor and the light and then taking this late 99K out of its base. Now, before we start taking things off, let's talk about some things that you're going to need pretty much throughout the whole restoration process. First thing you'll want to find are screwdrivers, all flathead screwdrivers, and various sizes, everything from a nice wide tip to something that is very tiny and small. I want these. I have a screwdriver set that I'll use a majority of the time. It's the screwdriver set by Chapman Manufacturing, and the kit number is 9600. You can see it right there. And you can even pick what color case you want. But the reason why I love this set is it has a bunch of interchangeable bits, all different sizes, from very big ones to very tiny ones. These tips are designed to break before you strip the head of the screw, and you can always order a new bit for a couple dollars, but finding a vintage replacement screw isn't always as easy. So I'll have a link to that screwdriver set down in the description box below. They're on Amazon, free shipping, get them in a couple days. It's pretty great. Last thing you're going to want to get a hold of is a good penetrating oil. This is the brand that I will always recommend because out of all the penetrating oils I have tried, it's the best. And I can only thank Bob Fowler for introducing it to me. So on to removing this motor. There is a screw right here. It's a mounting screw. That is the screw that we want to undo. And this motor mount on the late model 99s, it slides up and down, and that's so we can adjust the belt and how the belt fits onto the hand wheel. And if we're having issues with slipping or the belt's too tight, it's overworking the motor, we make those adjustments by sliding this up and down. So first thing I'm going to do is loosen this screw head and slide the motor mount up a little bit so that I can pull the belt off the end of the pulley right here. So see, I'm just loosening it a little bit. I'm sliding the motor up, and see, my belt becomes a little bit more free. I can just pop it right off the end of the pulley. Now I can continue to loosen this screw, and I'm just going to take it all the way out. And when you take it out, you're going to find a little washer on the end. Just keep it on the screw for now, and I'll tell you how I like to keep these parts together. Now, this motor is just going to pull away from the machine. See, it's free. And, oh, there's a dead bug back here. So if you don't like bugs, maybe close your eyes. So the next thing we need to do is take the light off because the light's still connected to the motor. It's all one big piece for right now. So I'm going to spin this around so we can get the light off. Aw. Our poor friend here, actually not our friend. That's not the kind of bug you want in your house. I'm gonna have to get rid of that because that is a big distraction for me. These are the days that I reconsider wearing gloves. Ugh, okay. Bye-bye, Fred or Henry, whatever your name was. We're not gonna look at you anymore. So now we can go ahead and remove this light. And there is a screw right here. I'm going to show it to you. So the screw I'm going for is this one right here. That's the screw that I want to remove so I can take this light off the machine, and then the motor and everything is going to come with it. I'm trying to do this so it doesn't go too much out of focus for you. When my hand gets in the way, it makes it hard to see. So left to loosen. I think I can just twist this out now. Drop the screw, but the light is free. So now we have freed up all this cumbersome wiring because our foot control even is hardwired to this motor. So to get this all free is going to make working with this machine so much easier. We're not going to talk about these parts anymore for now. What I want you to do is to set them aside. And since everything's so big and bulky, this is an old takeout container. I just like to set everything right inside with the screw, motor mount screw, and washer, and foot control. There, nothing's getting lost, at least not for me. Now we can go ahead and remove this from the base. The fun part is that there aren't any screws on the back side of the base. It's actually all underneath. So that means I need to spin this around so I can show you how to access little screws that are fixing it to these little pins that stick out that allow us to raise and lower the machine. So I'll spin this around. So if you remember this little lever right here, this little lever just spins like this. And now, and I'm taking a deep breath because I don't know if there are any more bugs in here. Now I can actually lift the machine up. No bugs, just a little spider web, but no spiders. So anyway, I can lift this up and I can tilt it back. Now, if I tilt it back all the way, the whole thing is just gonna go crashing back. So you need to have some sort of support. So I'm going to show you how I support the machine when I have it tilted back like that, when it's still in the case. I don't let my kids throw away shoe boxes in this house. I use them until they're dirty and gross, and then I throw them away. They're great for holding parts. They're also great for holding up this machine when I tilt it back. So now I can tilt back the machine and it doesn't flip over for me. So what screws am I talking about that you need to loosen? Well, you're not going to be able to see them from this angle. So let me show you. So the screws that I'm trying to access, and look, this is broken here. So I'm still going to remove the screw, but they're actually in here, which I don't even know if you can see that, but there's a tiny little set screw that I'm trying to loosen, and all I need to do is loosen it. Usually I would also loosen the one on the other side, but since this is already loose, I'm not going to have to do that. So I'm going to loosen this one. If you have to loosen both, then you want to do both, but you just have to loosen them. You don't have to take them all the way out, not right now. Again, a short little screwdriver is the way to go. So I'm just gonna turn this screw, and it is pretty tight, but it's turning. And I only need to do like 3 or 4 turns. I don't have to take it out all the way. Now, I should be able to pull this up just like that. It's out of the base. Okay, let's get this base out of the way. So if you used a shoebox, hang on to it because all your bagged up parts can go in that shoebox. Now I can go ahead and I'm going to remove those set screws all the way. And since this is out of the base, I can flip it over. Much, much easier there. And I will remove this set screw as well. So I have this set screw here, and this little pin, and this would normally stay inside the base, but not in this case. And then this set screw, which was just a little tough to turn at first. Now, if you were having trouble getting this to move off of this pin here, what you would do is fully remove the set screw, and then your penetrating oil would go down into the hole where the set screw was, and it would help free it up a little bit if you let it set. And I put some penetrating oil in one of these little needle nose bottles. It's just a lot more control for me, and I don't have a bunch of overspray from the oil getting all over the machine. So I use this a lot. I'm going to show you my very sophisticated system for organizing parts. I use baggies. That's it. Once I clean the parts, they go back in the baggie. If I need to use a clean baggie because there's oil all over inside, it's no big deal. These are very inexpensive, $300 in a box, works for me. That's how I keep stuff separate. So that's gonna go in a baggie. And that's it. We have removed the motor and light from the machine, and we've taken it out of the base. It's going to be so much easier to handle this machine now. What I want you to do is to check your machine really quick. And if you still have a needle in it, and oh, can you see this here? That's why you need a base. The bottom of the whole hook assembly is catching on this towel. You could never sew on this machine without a base, but I want you to take that needle out. I should have told you that at the beginning. Ooh, this baby's in there tight. So we're just gonna see if we can't get that to loosen up, and I'll get the needle out later. But always, always remove needles from your machines before you start taking them apart. You don't know where that needle has been. Don't keep it, throw it away. We'll start with the brand new one later, but take it out so you don't stab yourself. Also, at this point, you can go ahead and take off that old belt. This one is in really bad shape. It's full of cracks. It's going in the trash. We'll replace it with the new one. But in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the bobbin winder. We'll leave the hand wheel on for as long as we can because that's going to help us when we remove parts out of the nose. I like to be able to still turn the hand wheel when I do that. So next video, how to remove the bobbin winder, and we will fully disassemble the bobbin winder for cleaning. So be ready for that. Make sure you have the screwdrivers you need. Penetrating oil, I guarantee you are going to need it on your bobbin winder. So just get ready. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad we finally started, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.